Good morning, class. My name is Madam Euphem. I'm going to take you through soil formation through the rock cycle. Basically, we are going to learn about the rock cycle process. So, before I start my lesson, I would like to state the objectives. And the first objective is define the rock cycle process. The second objective is explain the three types of rocks, and the third objective is give an example of each type of rocks. So first of all, let me explain what is the rock cycle process. So the rock cycle process, this is a natural process that describes rocks changes from one type to another over time. It shows how the three types of rocks are formed, that is the igneous, the sedimentary, and the metamorphic rocks. So first, let us start with the sedimentary rocks. So sedimentary rocks, these are rocks that are formed from accumulation of deposits or sediments of remains of certain organisms that have hardened by pressure or cemented by minerals such as silica carbonates and iron oxides. So there's a basically picture there showing how the materials are being washed into the sea or blown by wind. So the materials and how also the plants and animals materials after dying, they decay. They form layers of sediments which over time they turn into a rock. So an example of these rocks, we have the mud rock, we have the coarse sandstone, we have the conglomerate with imbricate rocks. Now the second type is the igneous rocks. These are rocks that are formed from volcanic action. There are basically two types, that is the intrusive and the extrusive. Intrusive igneous rocks, these are rocks that are formed within the earth, while extrusive igneous rocks, these are rocks that were formed near the earth's surface or on the earth's surface. So there's a picture there showing how volcanic action occurs, that is there's magma there. Then the magma, when it goes out of the mountain, it forms the extrusive igneous rocks. That's when it's near the earth's surface. And while it's inside, it forms the intrusive igneous rocks. So let me show some examples of these igneous rocks. First of all, we have the obsidian. Obsidian, these are types that occur when lava cools so rapidly that crystals do not form. Then secondly, we have the pumice that contain holes where gas bubbles were trapped in the molten lava, creating vesicular texture. And lastly, we have the most common extrusive igneous rock is basalt. Majorly it's found in the seafloor. Okay, example below the South Pacific Ocean. The next type of these rocks is the metamorphic rocks. These are rocks that are result due to change brought about by combination of heat, pressure, and plastic flow, so that the original structure and mineral composition is changed. So these types of rock, there are different types of these rocks. That is, we have the slate, we have the phyllite, we have the schist, and we have the gneiss rock, metamorphic rock. Lastly, there's this picture showing how the rock cycle itself occurs from where the volcanic mountain erupts, and then the magma, when it comes out, it forms the igneous rocks. The igneous rocks, after changes over time, it forms sedimentary rocks, which later forms the metamorphic rocks. And that is it for today. Thank you for your cooperation and hope to see you next time. Thank you.